We are going to discuss about cyber security awareness. So hope we all know, like in day-to-day activities, like we'll be using our computers and mobile devices for any transaction or online banking or online ordering. Everything we do online, and it's very important to protect our data and devices carefully. So normally, like hackers, like they will just send you a malicious email or link that contains the attachments that will just install a malicious software into your device, and then I mean, hackers will be able to start stealing the data from your computer. So that's why, like whenever we talk about threats, and we can say like a one click game over. So we should be very careful, like when we just receive any email or any message. Okay, so first we'll see like what is email phishing. Like probably like hackers, what will do is like they will send the email, the email is coming from any e-commerce website or from popular mailbox accounts like Google, and any shipping companies like FedEx. So like why they are sending like this, like because these are popular, and like we just trust those websites, right? So they will make you to click on the link or any attachment, so that they can install the malicious software to your device. So also what they will hackers, what they will do is like they just send you an email or message. They are I mean, coming from your friends or family members or any government organizations. So like these all the tactics they follow, so that like they can send the email or any message, and they'll make you to click on that link. So that is the purpose. So we should be very cautious, like when we receive such kind of email. So just I'm going to tell you the some samples, so and how we can just avoid this kind of email phishing. If you look at this email, it says like Saturday 19th March, it doesn't have year. And if you look at this button, and if you hover there, we can see some link which is not familiar of. So like the email says that that is coming from Google account, but this URL address we see here when we hover this button is something different. So we should be very cautious, we should not click on this button. Even if we click on this button, it will take you to some other URL which is not relevant to Google. If you look at this here, like it is added some additional text content. So it's not advisable to click in such kind of buttons when we receive an email. So we should be very careful, like who is sending this email, and like who are all copied in this email, and like what is the purpose of email. And it's very important to consider all these points. So the next point is like they will send email with some attractive subjects. Wow, OMG, check this out. Or like, please donate, you have won something. So these are all some tactics, so that like you will be just act upon that email quickly. So here is another email that has some link which is not relevant, and if we click on this link, definitely it will install a malicious software to your system. So we should be very careful, like when we receive such kind of malicious email. Okay, then the next point is, here is another example. The email says like it's coming from a shipping service, FedEx, and if we click on that, like definitely, like if this email is suspicious email, then it would just install a software evil code in your machine. So we should be very careful when we receive such kind of emails. Another way the hackers use to install the evil code in your device is macro. So through macros. So macro is like we all know, macro is kind of a small script or mini program. Like we can see like we can create macros in Microsoft Office, Excel, or Word. So if you look at this document, the content is blurred, and it says like to make the, I mean, this document has been set to blur, and due to security reason and for security safety, kindly click option enable content above the view proper document. That means like we should, like it says like we should enable the macro script execution, so which is not advisable. And here is one more example. This says this document is protected by Microsoft Office and enable editing and content to see this document. When we click on enable content, like if this is a document from some hackers, then definitely it will, the macro will install some evil code, and it will just like damage your computer or any device. So we should be very cautious, like and we should not directly click on this enable content. So here are some few steps like how to mitigate macro malware. So do not enable macros when you know the file is from a trustworthy source. So by default, macros are disabled in MS Office, Word, or Excel. So we should enable macros when we really need. Okay. So another threat from hackers is BEC, like that is a business email compromise. So like hackers, like they usually target finance team for of an organization. So what they will do is first they will just make the finance team or payroll team to install the like evil code into their computers, and then that like no malicious software that will keep watching uh, the activities going on in the computer silently for a couple of weeks or months. Then like we started like no doing the like malicious activities. So if we just, let me show you the next slide. Here is the email. It's a, like no the company CEO is sending email to CFO saying that like we need to pay some company to uh, urgently some amount, and like to take the advantages of discounts. So actually really this email is not sent by the CEO of the company, but the malicious software installed in our computer that start accessing the email inbox, and then start sending that email. And like by looking at this email, the CFO is sending email to one of the finance team member who is responsible for like doing like money transfer. So like if we receive such kind of emails, like if any organization finance team member receives such kind of email, he or she should just pick up the phone and call respective reporting manager and ensure the email for money transfer is sent by him or not. So I mean that makes like the double confirmation, so that like we will not lose the money, or like she or he can just go to the respective manager's cabin and confirm whether the email is sent by him or not. Then another threat is like hackers focusing on is like messenger apps. Like we all know we are using the WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Skype, all these like no we are using on day-to-day basis. And like here is an example, like one message with malicious link. So we should not act upon by clicking the link immediately. So pause for a moment and then analyze before we just click on this message. So that is the basic step, like whenever we receive any message in the messaging software. So next topic is vsync. This is like kind of another way of hacking using like voice VoIP technology. So like hackers like use VoIP technology to spoof phone numbers, and from then they make a call to you, so over phone. And if we receive such kind of call, we should not share our personal information. So hackers make a call to your home phone number, that the call is from any like law enforcement or government agencies or tech support companies. So say for example, like if we receive a call from Microsoft tech support, and he might say like they received an error message from our computer and they would like to access our computer, we should not accept and share any credentials. So to avoid this kind of phishing, like we should not first trust the caller ID on our phone. And normally like any government office or any like tax agencies, they will not text or email or phone to tell about any debt or default in your account. So also they will not threat like if you are not like I mean, sending money or something, you will be arrested and I will put you in prison. So those kind of threats will not be made over by call by any tax agencies or government officers. They usually send any official letter. So we should not be sharing our any personal info over phone. So next topic is ransomware. Then ransomware is nothing but like that is a malicious malware that is usually dropped into our computer or mobile device, like when we click on a malicious link or attachment. So also like it is easy, that is possible when we visit an fake website. So what it will do is like it will encrypt all our data that is available in our computer, and then make it encrypted, so that we will not be able to access those files. So then hackers will demand money to decrypt the files, and if we accept to pay them, then it is possible they can demand more and blackmail us. So usually ransomware is targeted to government offices, hospitals and universities, etc., because like those kind of network will not be offline for more than 1 day or 2 day or weeks. So they just like think that like they will like pay money if they do such kind of like ransomware activity. So to like mitigate this kind of ransomware installation, probably we can install antivirus software and make sure like our OS and all our software are up to date with patches. So we can take backup copies of our hard disk, so that like if we like need to like hard reset the uh, or reinstall the operating system, probably we can just bring the data back to our computer. So that is about the ransom software. And then fake antivirus. So normally when we browse, we might see some like a pop-up coming saying that your computer is infected, and like you can install our antivirus software. So if we suppose click on that link or the pop-up anywhere, then it will just install the evil code in your system and started to steal sensitive information from the computer. So to avoid these malicious or fake antivirus, so we should not respond to, I mean we should not click on that link. If we are at office, like if we just receive such kind of alerts, it's better to notify IT support on the security team, so that that just they will just block those websites. So right now like the hacking through smartphones and mobile apps, that is very common. Like For that, like Apple iOS and I mean, basically like we are using any iPhone or Android phone. So Apple iOS, that is like good and more secure than Android phone, because like Apple automatically pushes the uh, like OS updates notification to our mobile devices. Also, it has very strict vetting process around the apps we see in the App Store. So also the iOS permissions are more restrictive. So it's very good, like if we have Apple of iPhone. Android iOS, like it has incredible functionality, customization, and a more open development platform, but uh, like it has some insecurities. So Google has little control over pushing software updates to non-Google devices. So Google leaves it to third-party phone manufacturers to push Android updates to their own customers. Uh, so like to avoid this kind of like threats coming while using Android mobile phones, it's like better like we can possibly use Google Nexus or Pixel 3 mobile devices and activate Google's Play Protect feature, which will protect your protect you by using Google Safe browsing. And download apps only, I mean, we should always download apps only from trusted app stores or marketplaces. Also, we can install a security app on our Android mobile phone for added protection. So if we think like some like a malicious app has been installed in our mobile device, we can do factory reset and then restore the data from the previous backup. So another point is like we all using like several website and having different passwords, like so it's better like to have the password manager to safely like save our passwords, because password managers like that captures the credentials and store it encrypted in the wallet. So it is better to have password manager that will just protect our passwords. Also, if we are started to use a password manager, like it will just autofill our password when we log into the page, and if we configure the password manager for that website. So the last slide I'm going to share is like browser security. Like we are using the browsers in either computers or mobile devices. So we can install uh, blocking like no browser extensions or blocking tracker, blocking advertisements. Those are the browser extensions like we can install to avoid like safe I mean to have a safe browsing. See, here is a couple of examples for blocking trackers. We can install Ghostery or Privacy Badger browser extensions. Similarly, for blocking advertisements, we can install uBlock Origin, AdBlock Plus, or Privacy Badger. So like it is very important to install such kind of browser extensions, so that like our devices will be like secured. So I mean, we have like few more I mean several options and to say like no safeguard our devices. So these are the like no quick points like I would like to reiterate at this point of time. Yeah, that is the like no knowledge I wanted to share today.